Publish 77F, please. Mr. Lovejoy, if you could step down and point out who's who in the photograph. Going left to right, who's in the photograph? From left to right, so that's, are you all able to hear? We need to have the mic. That's, from the left to the right with the black on, that's Julian Patterson. In the middle with red and white shirt is Smokey. In the back with the tan hat is Baby O. Out front with the black jacket is Sos, and that's me with the tan jacket. Next to you is Devin Patterson? Yes. Do you know the time frame when this photo was taken? I would say 2004. Speak into the microphone. 2004. What makes you say it was 2004? The clothes that we got on, and like it's kind of cold, probably fall. And the individuals in the photograph, how many, if any, are selling drugs around that time? We all selling drugs. Now, were you any good at selling drugs initially? Not in the beginning, no. So how much money did you make in the beginning? Pretty much what I was making at Old Navy, just a little more faster. If you were making the same amount that you were making at Old Navy, why did you continue selling drugs? It was just faster. Where were you selling the drugs from? What location? Well, in the summertime on a corner. When it got cold, we started going into vacant houses. So you're selling in 2003. You moved into a vacant house at some point? Shortly after this picture because it was starting to get cold. Fair to say it's about 2004? Yes. And when you say you moved in the vacant house, first off, describe the neighborhood. Are there a lot of vacant houses that you were sealing? Not a lot, but it was starting. When you sold out of the vacant houses, were you working with anybody when you were selling out of the houses? My first time in a vacant house, I was working for somebody else. I was working for a guy named 40. At some point, did you start selling for yourself out of a vacant house? My house on Tacoma. This is in 2004, and you're selling out of your own house? Yes. Were you selling with anybody else? No, not yet. So at some point you moved from the street to a house. And where was that house? The street from the house. You were on the corner at one point, and you moved into a vacant house to start selling? Yes. Where was that? 14787 Tacoma. Did you ever sell out after? Let me ask you this. Is there another name or something that you call the vacant houses? Was there a name what the houses are actually called? We call them traps. Why do you call them traps? I don't know. Would you store anything in the trap houses? Sometimes. What do you store? Sometimes we sell the drugs in there, and sometimes we had the gun in there sometimes. Sometimes you had the guns in there, you said? Yeah, sometimes. Did you ever sell with Quincy Graham or Prentice Graham in these houses? Yes. Tell us about that. So this was maybe 2005, summer. We opened a trap house. Me, Quincy Graham, his brother Prentice, and Julian Patterson. We opened up a trap house on Liberal. You opened up a trap house. What does that mean? We just went into vacant houses and set up shop. And started selling drugs? Yes. How did you get the drugs that were sold out of the house? We all pitched in together. We all put our money in together to buy the drugs. Were you all selling at the same time? Or were you selling at different times? Since there was 4 of us, we split in 2 different shifts, day shift and night shift. How long did you guys sell out of this house that you mentioned? Not for long. Why did you stop? It was my fault. I got the house raided. Okay. So after the house was raided, what did you do? We went on Manning. We opened another house on Manning. Do you know the cross streets where that was? Between Queen and Monarch. You mentioned that you had both drugs and guns in the house. Why did you have guns? For protection. Were these guns sort of communal guns, or was it your personal gun? Who owned these guns? I had my personal gun there, and I guess the guns kind of belonged to the house. So in addition to the gun that you had, there were guns that stayed in the house? Yes. Do you know what type of guns these were? All handguns. I'm sorry. All handguns? Yeah. Did you ever have to use your own gun? Did you ever fire your own weapon? I fired it in the air, yes. Tell us about that. Why did you fire in the air? Well, when we moved on Liberal, the guys across the street, they didn't like us on Liberal. So we was hearing threats that they was going to do something to us, rob us or burn the house down. So when I was serving a customer at the back door, I heard something in the alley. So I just fired a couple of shots in the air. Let's go back a little bit. You said that there were individuals who didn't like you being on Liberal. Why didn't they like you being on Liberal, if you know? They were selling drugs on Liberal. They were competitors? More, not competitors, but we made the heat to their block. When you say heat to their block, what do you mean? Police. So you fired your gun in the air at some point, and that was in response to your belief that there was somebody in the alley behind your house, you said? Yes. Did you stay in that particular trap house? No, the police came shortly after that. So the police come. What do you do at that point? We weren't there when the police came. After the police come, did you go to a different house? Yes, we moved on Manning. Where on Manning was his house? Between Manning and Monarch. In the same area where you grew up? Yes. Do you keep selling with the same individuals, Prentice, Julian, and Quincy? For a short period of time, yes. Why only for a short period of time? They kicked me out of the group. They kicked you out of the group? Yes. Why did they kick you out? I hired my cousin to work my shift. Why did you do that? I thought it was a smart thing to do. Can you tell us why? We were getting paid $2,000 a week, each one of us. So I decided to pay my cousin $200 a week and keep the $1,800. You subcontracted? Yes, basically. So you get kicked out of the group. Do you know roughly what year this was? It could be 05, maybe. Summer. You get kicked out of the group. Where did you go after you were kicked out? I went back to the corner on Manning and Monarch. What did you sell when you went back to the corner? Crack. Did you notice anybody else selling on the corner at that time? It was Baby O, Bleak, Sos, Purnell Williams. White Boy was there a little bit off and on. Rob off and on sometimes. What was the last one? Big Rob was there off and on. So you said Baby O is Christopher Owens? Yes. Bleak is Murphy? Yes. Sos is Devin Patterson? Yes. You mentioned Purnell Williams? Yes. What about White Boy? What's his name? Jason Gill. Big Rob is Robert Brown? Yes. Did Jason Gill grow up in the neighborhood with you guys? Yeah, kind of. Yeah. When you say kind of, what do you mean? He lived on Kelly in Tacoma. Not directly over there, but he would come over there, and we would go over there and hang out with him and vice versa. I will show you 78B and C for identification. Showing you what's been marked as 78B and C, do you recognize the individuals in these photographs? Yes. Starting with 78B, who is in 78B? Jonathan Murphy, which is Bleak, Sharky, Sos, Block, Steve-O, and J-Rock all the way in the back. You say Sharky. Do you know Sharky's real name? Sharky. Sharky is Sharky? Yes. 78C. Jonathan Murphy, Block, Nice, Sos, J-Rock in the back, Sharky, Steve-O. Do you know a rough time frame when these pictures were taken based upon the clothing? 2008, maybe 2009. 2008, 2009? Yes. Judge, if I could enter into evidence 78B and C. Any objection? No objection. All right. Thank you. Call up 78B, please. Mr. Lovejoy, stepping down, show us who is in the photo from left to right. Bleak is on the left. Bleak is with the colorful coat on. Block is in the corner behind with the hat on. Down with the bottle with the chain is Nice. Standing right in front with the bottle is Sos. In the back is J-Rock. In the middle with his face covered is Skip. And with the white hat is Steve-O. I don't know the guy on the end. Okay. While you're standing, let me publish 78B. Left to right is Bleak, with a colorful coat on, with his head down. I don't know the guy in the back corner. That's Skip right there. The guy down, I don't know him. That's Sos, and that's Block. And it looks like with his face down is Steve-O. The face cut off is Steve-O, you said? Yes.